Well, my mother and father were good Christians. They really loved the Lord. They had a great relationship with Jesus. Even though I was in this Christian home and had great, solid Christian values, at the age of 6, I was gang raped by a bunch of boys down the block. And I didn't know what to say to my parents. I told them they stole some toys from me, which they did, but they stole a lot more from me than just toys. So here I was, a 6-year-old, not knowing what to say. So I just isolated myself. Later on, when I was 11 years old, a 25-year-old woman in the church molested me. About 9 months later, I got molested by a man in a city park toilet. And I found myself drawn to this guy because I was so hungry for my father's attention and I wasn't really getting it. And I actually let him do it to me. And from that point on, it was a downhill road. At 13 years old, I became sexually addicted. I went from one person to another, trying to conquer. I was a predator at 13 years old. That's the only way that I could feel good. I could become somebody. And finally, I wound up losing everything. And so I wound up just finding my identity in whoever I was loving at the time. And it just went from bad to worse. So I plummeted. I plummeted deep. I went so far deep that I got arrested several times. Finally ended up in jail for 6 months to a year. And during that time, I really got sick and tired of being sick and tired. Well, at least I thought I was. And I met the Lord in jail. And I got out and met this beautiful young lady. She was going to the church where my parents were going to church. And I fell in love with her. Asked her to marry me. And we started this ministry. And as we were going in this ministry, I was praying for certain things to happen. Had these great visions of where we could go. And it wasn't happening. And I got disillusioned with God. And that destroyed me. And I fell very hard, and I left that young lady, the love of my life. I left her in the dust, hurting and broken herself. And from that point on, I went from bad to worse. My lifestyle was, I don't even know how to describe it. My best thing I've ever said, or to describe that lifestyle I was in, was I was a trisexual. I try everything once and twice if I liked it. Whether it was drugs, sex, whatever it was, alcohol. I had a lover, and I had lots of other side escapades as well, sexually. I was really searching for completion, and I couldn't find it. I just couldn't find it. And I found myself going back to church where my mom was going to church. And for 7 years, I just turned my whole life around. God really, I had my Damascus Road experience. I just had this meeting with God. God connected me out of the clear blue with Youth with a Mission. And there I found my life. It was like all my dreams that I'd had growing up that I never thought would be fulfilled, traveling around the world, connecting with peoples of different cultures and lifestyles and all that sort of thing. It happened. It was there. And I just went, wow, how am I going to do that? And God just, one thing at a time, things fell into place. In the process of that, I get an email from that young lady that I walked away from when I was in my 20s. And so we began to talk and converse and Skype back and forth. During one of our Skype sessions, I realized that I was really in love with her. And she realized she was in love with me. And God just timed it all. And we got back together. Now we're married. And we're starting a new life, and she's joining me in the ministry. You know, looking back over my entire life, I'm no longer that abused person, that victim, the person that was raped, the person that was sexually addicted. I'm no longer a sexually addicted person. I'm no longer a homosexual. God has given me this peace and this contentment, a joy to be who He created me to be. Now, my life is in Christ. He has given me peace. He's given me security. I'm content.